What up, guys? All right, so check this out. In the spirit of June, there's a lot of things. Pride Month, Juneteenth is coming up, right? Why are you laughing?
Wow, man, you got all the holidays,
Dude, you got all the holidays. We can't celebrate any of them.
only thing guys got right now, we got right now is just mental male health, right?
Which is this month.
Yeah, June. Yeah.
Well, and he's also
a male.
What's up, my Wakuzas? Welcome back to WAKU Radio. We got a special guest today, but first, we got the main host, Kobe, and we got the co-host, Sebastian, and I got the most flaming guy that we know, Evan.
What's up?
Today's sponsor is WAKUPrince.com. So we're talking about 2S LGBTQ+.
I mean, last time I checked, it was LGBTQIA plus and some other stuff.
like, how does it make you feel like all of this? Do you think this is like the LGBTQ like designation is like absolutely necessary, or do you think it's kind of stupid? Or
Who are we to define what people want defined, right? Or like want to call themselves? So like, if somebody wants to call themselves intersex, okay, be intersex. If you want to be pansexual, be pansexual. If you want to be a fucking Tonka truck, I don't really give a shit. Like,
yeah, I see that.
you know,
Yeah.
it's not for us to decide what they feel that they are or what they describe themselves as
Mhm.
or what have you. But in the same token, it's not our jobs to constantly be able to know what they identify as.
Some people are saying like, oh, you're born gay, and then the other says that like, oh, you just kind of make up your mind and you become that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
So how does that work? So
No, you're born with it. Like you will either know or you'll have some type of inkling, right? Like you're not gonna go out tomorrow if you're like 110% attracted to women and like you've always been like, even when you're a kid, like you're like, oh, that girl, blah blah blah, whatever,
Mhm.
right? You're not gonna like all of a sudden one day wake up and be like, oh yeah, I want to try out some dick.
Mhm.
No, like
I'm
that's
actually-
not how it works, right? Now you might like have some type of feelings and you don't know what to do with them, maybe, or like you might eventually find somebody that you are attracted to. It's like, okay, what's happening?
Mhm.
But that's not like, again, that was inherent in you. Like you're not again going to just one day wake up and be like, oh, okay, I think I'm gonna try this today and go out and find some fucking dude,
Mm.
right? It's gonna be oh, like I feel weird. Why do I feel this way about this dude? Whatever. And then like you go in from there.
Do you get like a tingle in your wiener?
Yeah, in your wiener or heart or heart wiener or whatever.
Well, is it kind of natural? Like a lot of the younger like boys that like find out that they're gay or just know that they're gay, they're more friendly with girls, right? In a weird way.
I wouldn't say that.
Really?
I mean, did you feel like it was like a hard transition though? Like in terms of like society wise, like growing up, like
I mean,
finding out like you were gay and like the whole experience of it?
I mean, so for me personally, I'd say yes and no, right?
Oh, really?
Because it has a lot to do with your support system around you.
I'm guessing about like family and all that.
I'm talking about family. I'm talking about your friends. I'm talking about where you grow up, you know, the religion that you grow up in, you know, there's so many different factors that will determine why, you know, how you transition into coming out and being gay or what have you.
Mhm.
And how you handle that as a person. So like for me, like my parents were very accepting. I did tell them or what have you. We went and had our back and forth or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're like, if this is who you are, this is who you are. Like we're not going to try and control that.
God.
Right. You have religious nuts out here that are like, oh, you're gay, you have the devil in you, and then youth conversion camp.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and like it's completely, you know, pretty much what I have to say about the whole thing is like, if society was more accepting of these things, if like they would just say, okay, you're gay and that's it, what's the big deal or whatever, and not try and fight you on it, then a lot more people probably would be more accepting about who they are and what they like and why they like it and whatever, and it'd be a better fucking place. But
Yeah.
again, this is
mental health in the LGBT community pretty prominent? Like, is it spoke about a lot? Like, or is it kind of
yes
like,
and no.
okay,
I mean, it's a huge thing in our community because you have so many people that have had really fucked up experiences growing up just because of who they love and who they are,
Mm.
right? That will fuck you up mentally 110%. And like you even see it like when you're out there dating or whatever, you like happen upon somebody and they're just like completely out there. It's like, yo,
Mhm.
like, you okay? Do you need like a hug? Like,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I recently just read a statistic and it said gay and bisexual men are more likely to develop mental health disorders than heterosexual men. Gay males are at increased risk of suicide attempts, and especially before the age of 25. So pretty much everything you mentioned kind of correlates with the statistic, right? Because till about, I think about 25, you're kind of still discovering yourself, right?
Right. So that's number one. You're kind of still discovering yourself. Number two, you're also finding your tribe, right?
Mhm.
So like if you can't find, if you were ostracized growing up and, coming out of high school, parents, maybe kicked you out, you're being taken advantage of by people, you're introduced to sex way too early, whatever. All those factors are going to lead to those higher mental health concerns and breaks that you might have, right? And again, straight men usually aren't going to experience as much of this or whatever. You might get kicked out, but it's not because of who you are.
Yeah.
Because you fucked up or something.
We're a
I
piece
don't
of shit.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't, no, I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. So it's kind of fucked up because I guess what you're saying is the sexuality is not who you define who you are. It's just like
It's a part of you. Like you don't, like straight people don't go walking around and saying, "Oh, I'm straight. That's my identity. That's
Right.
who I am," whatever. But like they want to make anybody that's different that is their identity.
right.
And when you make that the defining moment of somebody's life,
Right.
and it's a negative issue and connotation every time you approach them about it,
Mhm.
eventually up here you're going to solidify, this is who I am.
Right.
I'm bad because of this, and I fuck up because of this.
Right.
And I made bad decisions because of this or whatever.
Right.
And then it's about unlearning that, or it's about continuing down that terrible path until you end up doing something.
So in the sense, you're like, actually, do you ever feel like you're the rebel in society in a weird way?
I mean, yes, but that's just because I'm fucking awesome. Yeah. No, but it's personally, I don't feel like that. And the reason why is because I, again, had that support system to teach me that this isn't, the end all be all for me or whatever. I'm so multifaceted beyond my sexuality.
Mhm.
And, I think that it's awesome that I fucking can sit here and talk to you guys about it, talk to anybody I want to, and have my own opinion and stand on that.
That's true.
Right. But there are so many people that out there can't or feel ashamed because that's what they were taught to do.
Yeah. By the end of this, we're all gay.
Yeah. Or not, or whatever. And that's the biggest thing. Like, that's the biggest thing that's come out lately is like sexuality is a spectrum, right?
It is.
Like, anybody, like, if you really, really think about it, anybody could be over here to over here or whatever. Like, for somebody to judge you based off of where you are on that spectrum, it's really stupid in my opinion and fucked up. People need to, people have a superiority complex.
Makes sense.
So do you think so it's kind of related to like the whole LGBT stuff and everything, but I feel us as we're humans, right? Correct. We're all humans. We're all different. We all have different needs. We all have different requirements. We all love different. We all want different things out of life, right? So we're all gonna be fucking different. That's just being a human, I think, right? But I've noticed that we have, and this is just my perception on it, I've noticed that we tend to like to categorize every single fucking thing in our lives. As far as like, and I'm not just talking about LGBT, I'm talking even like, disorders and stuff like that, like ADHD, even I'm talking about the basic ones that are like, oh, you must have ADHD,
Yeah.
We have to label everything. And me growing up, there's parts where I was growing up thinking, yes, I might have ADHD or I might have this, blah, blah, blah. And I just kept trying to find labels for myself, why I'm thinking this way. But then my dad would always be like, dude, like there's nothing wrong. You're just you.
Yeah.
Like just be you. That's fine. If anyone else has issues, that's on them. But you're just being you. So what I'm getting to is we like to categorize a lot of things. And there was a point where I was trying to categorize every emotion and shit like that. But I came to the realization, like, I'm a human being. I am different. What I require is different. So what I'm getting to is, do you think over categorizing it, everything that we're doing, LGBT or whatever, keep adding new letters, keep making it more confusing for the everyday person? Do you think this is going to benefit anyone? And if anything, it creates more controversy.
You have to remember two things here. Number one, labels are for you. They're not for the other person, right?
Yes.
It's for you to understand the other person and where they fit into society. I personally am not a big fan of that, right?
Okay,
because at the end of the day, or whatever, again, you defining somebody else doesn't help anybody.
Yeah,
it helps you fit into your brain what they might be, and if you can't fit them in, like, then you might be hostile towards them or whatever. When again, at the end of the day, the only thing that they are people, and that's the same way when you reverse it to the community trying to define themselves. It's like, why are we defining ourselves for people when we know who we are, we know what we are, and why? It's at the end of the day, none of this is really anybody's fucking business except for the person that's fucking you. Really,
exactly.
Yeah.
So again, why have to tell somebody, oh, I'm this today, or I've had one sexual experience with a guy, and so, but I'm not gay or bi, whatever, but like, that's how you have to define me now and whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
None of that shit matters.
Wait, so you're saying, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but are you saying, like, if a dude were to go out and roam around and, he's sexually discovering himself, and he has sex with another male, he can come back as straight? Is that what it is? Or
I mean, so, I mean, in my definition of it, yeah, like some people, like I have a bunch of friends that don't feel like that. It's like once, always. And that's not necessarily how all this shit works. That's not necessarily like, it's a defining thing. Like, that's how I need to define you, so that I feel like you fit in a box in my mind. Right.
Yeah.
Like, and again, who gives a shit?
Right.
Especially if you are not fucking that person.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing here is that like definitions of sexuality or what have you are so that other people can put you into some sort of box and define you as that or whatever. And like, for some people, that means that you don't move from that.
But do you feel like some people in your community that they ruin it for everybody, where it might ruin the progress of the LGBTQ community?
I mean, I feel like that in every every community has a certain subset of that population that are too fucking much and create the bad stereotypes that are in that community.
When I came across this one, I was a TikTok or Instagram, the guy was crying about where he wasn't properly introduced into his pronouns.
I saw that shit.
And you know what I mean? There's so many of it, but there was one particular guy, I believe, and I can't remember if it was a guy or a chick, but
pretty much, it was like a
trans woman. It was like a stud, yeah. And then
it was no. The one I saw was a trans woman, and like, they were upset about how they weren't announced by the proper pronouns in the restaurant or what have you. And I get that it can be absolutely annoying,
but it's too much,
what have you. But like, at the same time, again, you can't expect everybody in this day and age to, number one, know, or to, number one, want to agree. If somebody is deliberately misgendering you, not using the pronouns after you correct them, then yeah, be fucking pissed off, because again, why is that person antagonizing you like that? That's fucked up.
I see.
But like, if somebody walks up to you and takes their best guess and you correct them, don't get upset about that shit.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, we know with like social media and everything, there's like a misconception. You see something, you think is happening everywhere, right? So in the general consensus of like the LGBT community, are these people who we see in videos like outliers? Like, it doesn't happen that often, or is it something that happens quite often actually? And then like, or there's an altercation like that?
I don't think it happens nearly as much as you would think. But again, like, when the viral experiences happen, it gives people things to talk about. But
Mhm.
that being said, like, I do definitely think that people are out there deliberately misgendering people, and like they're upset because they feel like, because we're speaking out about
Mhm.
ourselves now, that like they're going to make it their personal mission to, be upset about it or whatever. And it's like, no, dude, like,
And then from your experience, do you encounter those type of people on the other side like that who purposely try to fuck with you?
oh,
With
absolutely.
a lot? Is it quite often, or is it like an outlier as well?
No, it's an outlier or
Okay.
whatever. Again, most people aren't assholes.
Mhm.
Most people aren't complete assholes, but like you do have the assholes out there that are just
Yeah, like
course.
somebody like it has the malicious intent to try to fuck
yeah,
with you,
because they have some stick up their ass about somebody being themselves.
Right.
Or, they feel like, oh, we're trying to convert the world now or whatever. I'm telling you, the gay agenda is not that. The gay agenda is to make everything look better. I promise you. But
So let me ask you this. You seem pretty grounded, so I feel comfortable asking you this question. What's your thoughts on, like, we've been seeing in the news, such as like, they're trying to push like, transformation surgeries for kids, young kids, right?
Mhm.
So I get like everyone's in their discovery phase, but is there like a certain thing where we should interfere because they're younger?
I mean,
if does that make sense?
so I know, yeah, it does.
I know it's a difficult question, but
Yeah, because it's loaded, and let me tell you why. Like, I absolutely personally believe that, like, when it comes to transitioning, when it comes to hormone taking and everything, we should be putting that off until the kid is of age and able to. I understand why they do it though, because it's like if they take hormone blockers early or what have you, then they develop into the form that they want to be.
Mhm.
But again, a kid at 6, 7 years old should not be able to make that decision for themselves, even though they might feel like it. And then that's where it comes to gendering and pronouns and all this thing, treating a person as they view themselves or whatever. You know, if we were to do that, maybe we wouldn't have these issues. Maybe we would have these issues where like we're fighting so hard for them to change their physical appearance in order to fit society's norms,
Right.
right? But
because I also want to include, like, I don't want to just, this is not just something that's just affecting the LGBT community. It's also affecting, like everyone, like men with low testosterone, like they need to get this kind of stuff, but they're not getting offered this kind of things, and also it's a lot. I know this is a really hard subject, but I've also seen, like, growing up, right? We have friends that fucked around with steroids, and now they have fucked up hormones, and now they're spending the next 10 years to fix those hormones, to get back, to balance it out, get back to normal. So that's why I'm not just saying it just in that terms, but I'm in all younger people's health aspect type thing, like I'm trying to, like, like that.
Well, exactly. That's like I said, when you start fucking with people's hormones and and bodies or what have you at such a young age, it can really, really fuck them up later on in life. And that's my entire issue with that argument. It's not the fact that people, want to have transition surgery or do whatever they want to do with their bodies. Again, their body's their choice, especially after they come of age or whatever. But you can't do that and then say, oh, we're not going to acknowledge that you feel a certain way. And oh, by the way, you're wrong. And oh, by the way, we're not going to encourage you to figure out who you are. This is what you are, whatever. Like, again, that's where the mental problems start or whatever. It's like,
That's true.
It's that fucks up a kid at that age. It fucks them up very, very terribly. And once they get to the age that they can make decisions for themselves, they're going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
Because they'd had no type of support whatsoever.
Yeah.
One way or another.
But unfortunately, it's like too late though, because there's an article where a young kid, I forgot what state it was, the parents couldn't even interfere with the medical choice of it.
I think it was California.
Was it California?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, with the kid, there's like a certain I forgot the statute, the rule, the policy, but like the kid, it was, since it's covered now with insurance can cover it. The parents can't interfere with the kid's choice of getting that procedure done,
Yeah,
even if
crazy.
they're underage. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that is a
legally
little-
from the legal aspect of it.
yeah,
right?
that's a little bit crazy to me.
I know.
And again, it's a twofold thing, because you
Right.
have those parents out there that are actually supportive and, and actually encouraging their kids to figure out who they are. And then there's those parents out there that have an iron grip on their kids, and they're like, this is what,
Yeah,
this is what I view
extremities.
you as, and this is who you are, and I'm not going to let you make any decision for yourself
Right.
until you're like married.
That's like the two extremities, right? Like the parents that don't give a fuck, and then the other ones that are like too like Christian or religious or whatever, and like
Right.
you have the devil inside. So like I'm guessing you were kind of like in the middle because you had a good support system.
Yeah, well, like again, like that wasn't my journey. So,
Right.
I don't personally know
Right.
about, but I have friends that have, are, in the process of transitioning now,
Mhm.
what have you, that would be more well versed on maybe why they would have wanted it earlier, right? But to my knowledge, that's,
Do you think it's a mental health issue, or is this like how they identify themselves? That's what they really want, or is it something like that's kind of like a rebellious factor of like not having
I think
support?
I think that it's what they really want. And I say this because when you look at cultures all over the world, a lot of cultures have a third gender, third sex, or what have you. It's not an isolated thing.
Are you talking about like Thailand ladyboys?
Yeah, Thailand ladyboys. I know in like the Pacific Islands, it happens a lot. I know in tribes in Africa, it happens a lot as well. Even when you look at ancient cultures, I believe like it was the Babylonians or maybe the Persians that also had like a third gender.
It goes as far as back even the Romans.
Yeah.
Greeks were also
Yeah, they were super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you've seen this throughout the centuries, and
Yeah.
it's nothing fucking new.
Mhm.
And like, it's not something, again, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Mhm.
Like if a person wants to do whatever they want to their bodies, and it harms nobody else,
Right.
then I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, you are experiencing your life.
Yeah.
Right. You have to live with it.
Mhm.
I don't have to live with it.
Mhm. That
So-
makes
I think it only hurts when they start imposing on all their beliefs on other people that don't want to.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
the only thing. I
Well,
think.
and so I'd love to have this conversation.
It's like the
What
whole
do you
thing with
think?
it's like the thing with the drag queens when they're going to like elementary schools reading the stories.
I mean,
I feel like
That's like going straight to the children's source, right? It's
you know what I
weird.
mean. I
Yeah.
feel like just give it some time. Let them grow into it. Don't introduce like
there are so many other things that we should be worried about when it comes to how it affects our children, how it affects how they're growing up and what they might grow up as or what have you. Them knowing about people out in the world that do a certain thing on maybe their weekends
Yeah.
or whatever
mm,
is not going to affect them. But when it comes to child predators out here, when it comes to funding our schools so that they actually know about things, when it comes to religion coming into school and telling our teachers what they can and cannot teach, what books can and cannot be read or whatever, these are the values that our country is founded on for, freedom and liberty and the right to basically pursue whatever you want to, pursue knowledge, what have you, right? And we have all of these attacks happening right now. Where's the outrage about that?
I get what you're saying. I just feel like it's not that we want to restrict kids that there are gay people out there, right? It's just a matter of fact. These are the prime ages of like these kids. They're just like sponges, right? They're absorbing everything all around them.
Absolutely.
And
I
you
just
know
think,
what?
I just think to add something like a complexity to that, like with our social structure, I feel like it's just too much. Focus on the values right now, being a good person, whatever. You can.
I just don't think
Older?
any of those things should be involved in school at all.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
See, and that's the thing. It's like it's an all or nothing thing with you or whatever.
Why would you not want a religion in schools?
I wouldn't want that because it's not a belief that it needs to be.
That's not
instilled.
necessarily my religion. It's
Right.
not
I
what
get it.
teach.
No, I get that.
I don't.
But
I don't think it. I don't think it.
Yeah, I don't want religion in school because I think the family the value should be installed by the family. School
Right.
should be strictly education.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, if why are
said
we?
this
Why,
before.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked about that. That's
Yeah.
why I agree with you 100%. Why would we need school to teach values. That's what the parents are for, you know? But we
Exactly.
create this whole fucking system that fucks our parents away from giving us the values, so we're relying on school to teach us the values.
And
I mean,
can I add to that?
look at
really quick?
but look at Japan really quick, right? The first 4 years of age before they even start learning like real topics like math and all that, they're still learning about values, but they're not having as much as issue as what Americans.
Yeah, but
experience. You know what I mean?
But you
I
gotta
feel like it's
understand.
important.
Yeah, but you understand too. America's such a diverse culture. Japan has one culture. It's easier to assimilate everyone all together.
No, I get
But if you're talking about U.S. has how many people? We have a population. The U.S. Actually, matter of fact, we have a population in states that are as big as countries in other places, right?
Right.
So I mean, it's hard to install values. How do you install one value for a nation full of culture? You know,
They're
It's
all
a melting pot.
They're all related. It doesn't matter if you're from Muslim
yeah, but there's
background or Christianity or Catholic.
then they should teach good.
No,
then-
I mean, you have Hinduism, you have Buddhism,
yeah, I know.
yeah.
I'm saying,
paganism, like,
but they all instill similar values.
Yeah.
no, not
regardless.
necessarily.
I have to disagree with y'all. I'm sorry. I mean, I know I was raised Catholic. Right now, I'm currently agnostic, but like, I still believe all religions can still be in a respectful,
Absolutely, yeah.
educational manner.
But then there's harmful
There's
parts to that
But
too.
see,
though.
But
again,
it's only harmful to me is when you start saying, okay, this is the only right way. Christianity, for example.
Yeah, I get that.
That's when you start stepping in the zone like this is the only way.
Right,
And then
right.
now you're going to get into the zone of like, let's say racism. Right?
Well, that's the same thing that the Nazis did. It was
Right.
like, oh, blue eyes and blonde hair,
blonde hair.
skin. Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
I mean,
But I'm saying-
I think from the very beginning, religion's been nothing but to control and divide the people. That's all it is. It's to make them fear of something they cannot see. I've been through Catholicism. I've been through Christian. I went through Buddhist churches. Dude, I went to all the religions. They're all the same shit. It's what you take out of it, dude. It's what you take out of it. There's still piece of shit people in church. There's still piece of shit people in religions. Look, just because they go to church every Sunday doesn't make them any better of a person I am.
right.
Fine, fair enough. But I'm talking about like, let's say we go compare like government. At least you have some type of like foundation.
No, I don't think we even have government involved. Fuck that.
I don't know.
He's anti everything.
I think
course,
it's a couple of things. Number one, parents aren't in the business of actually teaching their kids values anymore or trying to explain shit to their kids.
Right.
They want them in a bubble as quiet as possible so that they can get them to and from school, in and out, or what have you, and get them to whatever age they need to get rid of them. Right. And it's like it's not how parenting works. Parenting is you're gonna get tough questions, you're gonna get hard questions, you're gonna get, questions you don't know how to answer or you might not agree with or whatever, right? You have to be able to talk to your kids, instill what you think your values are,
Right.
and know that they might go out there and change their minds.
True.
That's again
Agreed.
why we live in this freaking country.
Right.
Like we live in this country so that we can talk to each other about whatever the fuck we want to and come up with our own opinions. And not enough of that happens these days. And so when you introduce things like sexuality
Mhm.
into younger, children in schools, when you introduce things like religion into schools, when you have so many people that are not just one religion
Mhm.
or what have you, when you introduce all of these things, kids are going to talk, they're going to get confused, they're going to go home and ask their parents, well, what do we feel about this? What do we feel about that?
Right.
This is weird, this is that, whatever. And then the parents get all fucking pissed off because they don't want to explain this to their children. Well, what are we talking about this? Blah, 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 whatever, because we have to. They're going to have to learn eventually. And it's your job to tell them how you feel, don't feel, and make them think for themselves.
Right.
That's the one thing that I have to thank my parents for. They always made me think for myself.
That's good.
Always. And, always told me to have my own opinion, for my own opinion, how to critically think and how to question shit, right? Not everybody has that.
Yeah.
And not everybody's parents have that, which is why you see these people coming in so pissed off about all these things or what have you, that they just simply don't understand because they're not willing to ask the fucking questions themselves.
How is it being like a gay man today, right? Because like social media has basically
Changed a lot.
social media has basically made you guys like a protected class, right? Versus like back in the day, I know you're not that old, but like back in the day, like real early, like late 90s, I guess, there was a lot of gay bashing and stuff, right? So like growing up as like what are you, like a 90s kid or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like growing up in the 90s, it was like, you know what I mean? And then like 2000s came, pop music kind of blew up, and then 2010, and then like now it's like completely shifted. And like it's like you're good. Like it's the best time to be gay.
Well, yeah, it is the best time to be gay, but also like there's still so much hate out there
Yeah.
that you see or whatever. So like, and see, that's what I think people need to understand is like when people say, oh, like, well, it's all in our face now or whatever. It's like, no, we've always fucking been here.
Oh, I
Like
see.
we are just okay with saying who we are and not taking no for an answer now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the issue that you see out there is like people aren't happy that like, oh, we have to like we are expressing ourselves and we're being, oh, well, why can't you just keep that whatever? It's not something to be hidden. It's not something. It goes back to the whole, you know, this is how people define us as this one singular thing that's dirty and, you know, is at the fringe of society or what have you. That's not it. It's a part of who we are. It's a part of, you know, who we love is a part of who we are. And that goes for everybody.
Right.
Right. So if that is the case, why can't we be proud about it? Why can't we go out and say these things and say, you know, this is who I love and, you know, deal with it.
Yeah. So are you saying that's like one of the biggest challenges for today in the gay community or?
It is because again, you kind of have a dichotomy of those that are super accepting. You have a lot more people that are willing to come to bat for us.
Yeah.
Whatever, when it comes to hate and, you know, vitriol and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this other portion of society that's like not in my backyard or whatever. It's like, it's not in your backyard. It's
Right.
are like we're people, you know?
Yeah. But that seems like it's probably based off of demographics and like cities, right? Like in the cities, I feel like cities are more likely liberal, right? Because it's a melting pot. So there's like so many different like mindsets.
Depends on the city, I think.
You don't think
it
so?
depends on the city. It depends on the area of the country. I've met like plenty of people from rural, middle fucking nowhere America that are like absolutely fucking cool with me and talk to me about how their cousins, uncles, whatever
Suck.
point in their life. And it's like, oh, that's nice.
It's like, dude, this guy's like a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
But like you see,
You said Midwest? Was it his cousin?
No, but that's true though. I have met like some really, really interesting people from rural areas just because like it is weird. There's nothing else to do out there. So then they kind of get like, you know, into their heads and self-discovery.
Yeah. Or
Like-
whatever. Like, you know, but again, you have all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like, I think that's a lot. It has a lot to do with like the availability of information now versus, you know, 30 years ago, obviously. And like, you do see all these things. Like you are going to see, you know, that every company is going to do performative fucking Pride Month.
Hell yeah.
Or like you're going to see the stories about gay marriage or, you know, the first gay person to do whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And like some people accept that and they're like, okay, good for them or whatever, because again, it's a visibility thing.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are going to be like, well, why is my news feed being clogged up with this bullshit
Mm-hmm.
or whatever? And it's like your news feed's being clogged up with this bullshit because people are finally willing to admit who they are and what they love, right? But in the same token, like we're still not free from gay bashing, trans bashing. We're still not free from attacks on us. We're still not free from any of that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like it went away. It's maybe less prevalent, but it's not like it went away.
Right.
Right.
Right. I see.
There's always going to be that stigma.
You know what kind of reminds me? It kind of reminds me of like the Asian thing that's been going around, you know, like during
Asian
COVID
hate.
and stuff, you know, like
The Asian hate thing.
Yeah, the Asian hate. It's kind of like it's always there. Like there's always people making fun of Asians.
Now it's in front of them.
But it's in front of them now more often. But now it's like I feel like it's kind of like relatable, you know, like even for audience members, they might understand like if they're Asian, like what they kind of went through. So it's kind of like put them into perspective, you know.
Like you guys fucking eat bats? Like no, we don't.
Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly.
We eat cats and pussy.
Yeah.
At least you know the three of us.
Is it gay on Reddit stuff pop up and shit, and they're like, "How do I word this?" It's a bunch of dudes who all say they're straight, but they jerk off in front of each other watching porn. Is that gay?
Wait, in front of like they're looking,
circle jerk.
but they're
It's
all,
a circle jerk, but they all have their
circle
own
jerk?
porn watching, but they're all in the same fucking room.
but they're
and, like,
still they're not looking at each other. They're just looking.
I
at
mean,
right?
personally, I would
No.
call it hot, but
I mean, would you call
No,
would you call
but-
the Dutch Redder gay?
I mean,
You know what the Dutch Redder?
seems pretty gay to me. But like, again, you know,
So
these are fucking own. Hey,
So docking and Dutch Redder is gay.
I don't know. Why don't we
What
try sometime?
wait. Do you know what the Dutch Redder is?
No, I don't know what it.
I thought you knew. Okay, sorry.
No, what's the Dutch rudder? Please
So
tell me.
Dutch Redder is where you grab your own dick,
Okay.
and this also came from a movie, by the way. You grab your own dick, and then you grab your homie's shoulder,
Yeah.
the shoulder,
hey Henry, why don't you demonstrate for us with
Okay.
right? And then you grab your your homie's hand, and you just move the hand.
Henry? Show him. You gotta show him.
Wait.
How am I gonna?
So you're
show him in
helping
this
them
position?
jerk off,
Just stand up.
You're
Right?
basically
Just
helping
stand
them
up.
And then-
off.
but with their own hand.
And then docking is the one where it's like
That's-
you
that's-
connect both your
Yeah.
both your dicks,
Yeah.
and you just pretty much dock each other or something.
Yeah.
No, you grab the foreskin. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's say what if you're circumcised? It doesn't apply.
Then you find someone that's not circumcised.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to find
Yeah.
you have to find one anteater and one fucking regular westernized cock,
Yeah.
and then pretty much you just dock each other and shit. I think docking is gay, but
Yeah. That is gay.
Bro.
That's gay.
Yeah. That,
Hey, I heard this is a joke, right? But I heard that if you wear socks, it's not gay. Is that true?
no, it's actually if you tie a ribbon around your waist, it's not gay.
Oh,
It has to be a rainbow ribbon though, because it's like a double negative.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
So the next time I'm pounding some dude's ass cheek, I'll make sure I'll remember that. Nice. Wait, so I got another question. Is it gay if it's in prison?
Prison isn't a real place, actually. So no, I would say it's not gay. Even though you have prison wives, prison husbands, you know, it's not technically gay.
So there's a pass.
Once you leave out of those doors.
I have a big question after this. Are you done?
No, yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
But like, when you find your partner, right, and when whoever you vibe with and shit, how do you decide who gets it up the ass? Like
Who's top? And
like
who's bottom?
who's top and who's bottom? Like, does one person pretend like they're tucking it in, and or do you find
Well, you could also be a switch though.
I know, but like,
Right.
do you like are you attracted to like studs? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not a lesbian, sir.
I think they're called bears. They're
I
called
mean-
bears, right?
I mean, you know, like
That's what Henry calls them.
I feel like
Obviously, he's not.
I feel like two gay dudes is the most aggressive fucking sex you can
It's the
probably
most
do.
sensual sexual ever have in your life, and it's great.
Sensual? I feel like it's the most aggressive.
Wait.
Like, testosterone.
Evan, if you don't mind, are you a top or are you a bottom? Or you just play switch?
So I'm a verse. I play Switch.
Okay.
Is that the term? Verse?
Nice.
No, yeah. So I mean, but yeah, you have like strict tops, you have strict bottoms, you have strict whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe again to any of that. Like
And your preference, like you like big,
we'll figure it out when we start fucking around. Like somebody's gonna be like, okay, we're doing this or we're not doing this.
Yeah, like
you
I
know?
like getting my ass pounded type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Like, oh, I don't want to pound ass. I just want to get. It's kind of like fuck, what was that show? Shameless.
Yeah.
Where the tougher dude was always like getting his ass pounded. I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
I knew you're talking about the brother
trust me,
here.
the amount of fucking like tall ass muscle stud fucking big dick bottoms there are in the
Really?
fucking gay community. It's like, and then they're like being fucked by like these like short little
Yeah, like
like
motherfucker.
scrawny whatever. It's like
Yeah.
what's happening here? Like
That
this a
makes
fucking Twilight Zone
I
shit.
always wondered about that. It's crazy, man.
It's wild. It's fucking wild. Like it's wild out there. But again, to each their fucking own. Like, yo, that's why I say it's like I don't like to like put a label on myself like that, because it's like I might get there and fucking switch up completely. And be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just based on like each person, right?
Yeah.
Like makes sense.
But again, you do have those like you do have those people out there. It's like this is all I do. It's like, okay, that's how you get your rocks off, guy.
Have you ever got curious on the other side, like what it might be to be like straight?
Oh,
Huh?
shit. My
No,
bad.
but I fucked a girl
Oh yeah.
and I eat pussy.
Oh, you have fucked a girl?
Yeah, and I
Oh, wow.
and I eat pussy.
How was it?
Are you bisexual?
Wait, so
Pussy. Probably the butt. Did you fuck her in the butt or did you?
No, I fucked her in the pussy.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
yes, it was interesting. I mean, I honestly just don't see what the big deal is all about. Like,
no, right.
it feels all right.
What is it called when you like anything and everything? Like
Pansexual.
Pansexual?
Yeah.
Is that like
That's when you like a person.
You can love anything for whatever.
Yeah.
I see. So that's just kind of like just
Which is different from bisexual, which means like you like men, women, and you just, you know.
oh, I see. I see. But
Like
you can't be a guy and be bisexual and then go back and be like, I'm straight.
Well, again, like
I feel like no.
that's the definition thing, right? I mean, like if that's what you need to do to define somebody,
Yeah.
I feel like
whatever.
I feel like once you cross that line, I feel like there's no going back.
I feel like people should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to.
I agree.
I mean, I agree.
Straight, then they're straight. Guess what? Hello.
I feel like gay people have the best life.
You ain't come no kids.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that was a question that I was just literally gonna ask you. Why is it that gay guys have so much money? I feel like a lot of like the gay men, like they do very well.
I can promise you that that's not the case, but like gay couples, I think like make more money than like the average couple or whatever, right?
Right.
But like you can't go out and just say, hey, you average gay, like, do you make like $80,000 a year? The answer is probably not. I think that what it is that like gay men, especially if they have been kicked out of the house or whatever, like they have to, it's the same with any hustle, right? Like if you have to hustle for yourself from an early age and make something of your life or whatever, especially if you have something that society weighs you down with, like your color or your, you know, your sexuality or something like that, you're going to have to sink or swim.
Yeah.
Right. And like a lot of gay men like are smart. They go and get educated or what have you, and then they rise to their films, you know, to whatever top of their fields.
Right.
I think that part of it could be that like, you know, we don't have to be bogged down with getting somebody pregnant accidentally and having to take care of a kid or whatever. We can plan our lives, right? So it makes it a little bit easier, but like,
well, of course it's easier because you're always cream pieing assholes and shit.
Well, here's the other thing that
I've been trying to get pregnant for years. It just hasn't.
Like, one thing I want to add is like,
so guys cannot get pregnant.
Huh?
So biological guys cannot get pregnant?
I mean, to my knowledge, but I you know, once it happens to me, I'll let you know. Yeah. Once it happens to me, I will let you guys know.
All I know is
keep us posted, please.
All I know from experience, gay people are like the best women.
Yes.
Hands down. They're one of the best women. Like when you go, and plus they always hang out with like the baddest woman and shit. You know?
Hell yeah.
Because they feel safe around us. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. And then
because they don't, there's no intentions.
Yeah.
Right.
Gay dudes aren't trying to fuck hot straight girls.
And that's not all of our, you know, the biggest problem that I see with like straight men hitting on fucking like girls or whatever is like, they're all about the pussy. And like, if it has nothing to do with the pussy, like they're not about it.
Yeah.
And like girls will pick up on that. Like, you idiots. Like, I don't know, ask her about her fucking day or like, whatever. Right. Like,
what do bitches want to be talked to about? Like, give me like
literally anything else beside how hot they are. Like, yeah, they like that, but it gets old after 5 minutes.
But like, if you had common sense, right? You've actually spoke to a woman once. We all know, like, of course, you don't just tell her, like, you don't put the pussy on the pedestal, right?
Oh yeah. Video is sponsored by WalkerPrince.com. Get 50% off your first order when you subscribe to our email list.
Is it normal in the gay community to be like, hey, are you negative? Are you positive type of thing? Or are you trying
it's like, it's one of your main questions or whatever. But because there's like the HIV prevention now is worlds ahead of where it was like even 10 years
PrEP,
ago.
right?
Right. Yeah. PrEP and, you know, whatever.
Right.
But also you have like different HIV meds or whatever that are bringing people's viral loads to undetectable levels, which means that they can't pass it on to you as well.
Right.
So like you're if you know you're on both, you're protected. If one's on one, usually you're going to be pretty protected as well. But it's a conversation that everybody needs to have, because at the end of the day, like, you need to know your partner's status. And that was like, you know, it was a big push, you know, with in the past decade or whatever. Know your status, tell your status or what have you. Because if somebody, say you were to end up getting, you know, HIV, and you had been with multiple partners or whatever, if you can't go back and figure out who gave it to you, number one, you could have been spreading it all this time unwillingly. And number two, you're not going to be able to trace that and inform other people.
Right.
Right. And then it becomes, again, a big outbreak in health crisis.
Yeah, right.
You know,
that's crazy.
Do you have sex responsibly? Like, do you have like your partners get checked before, like, or is you just wing it?
I think I feel like the gay is pretty open about it, right? Like, okay, like let's say you and I were at a party, right? And like we're meeting, like, are you like, and let's say I'm positive, right?
Right.
Do I come up to you and be like, hey, are you positive? Or how does it work at a party?
No, like that's not how it usually goes.
Or am I trying to, so like, I'm just trying to give it.
So like, I'm talking about like, I'm just talking about like regular, like, you know, you meet somebody and like I'm talking about being responsible. Now, unresponsibly or what have you. Yeah, no, like you're going to go out there and go for it. And fucking
for sure. Yeah, I get,
you know, like on hookup apps or like, you know, whatever, like you're usually going to list it. You're usually going to, you know, talk to somebody about
I see. So on Grindr, it'll say like, oh, positive or whatever.
Yeah, positive or like negative in your last tested date or like whatever. So
but then there's a whole stigma where people hide it too. So it's like,
yeah, like that's fucked up, right?
But that's why you protect yourself.
Yeah.
But that's why you take PrEP and all that stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And see, that's kind of the thing now, is that like, a lot of people take PrEP or what have you. You don't necessarily, I mean, you should ask or what have you. A lot of people aren't necessarily asking or what have you, but like that doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't going to get other STDs.
Yeah, again, for sure.
But then again, it's the same thing with straight people, whatever. If you're out there, you know, going out partying, fucking bitches every fucking weekend,
right,
or whatever, like you're probably walking around here with a clap and you don't know it,
right?
Like,
right. No, yeah.
I mean, you'll know it from males. It's mainly females who are, they don't know it as well.
Yeah,
they don't have the same symptoms as.
Yeah, but you know, it's at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that like you know, nobody. If you're not really having these conversations or whatever, it's not just a gay thing or a straight thing or whatever. The HIV one is definitely, you know, the gay community, but we kind of, I'm not gonna say we have completely handled, obviously, but we have it handled over here with preventive methods and stuff or whatever. It's like everything else that personally I'm worried about. It's like, okay, so what do you really have?
Right.
I mean, it's not like the worries are any different for straight too, like you said, you know. And like here at WAKU, we always, I mean, since we started fucking, we were always like, dude, always get.
Whoa, not each other, dude. You said that like we
like, what? I had a gay coworker, right, at the hospital, and you know, he's very flammable. He's a really chill dude, awesome guy, right? Anyways, he always bragged about like, he always said he had a creamy asshole. And I was like, no, wait, let me explain. So he always bragged about that whenever he was with his sexual partners. So my thing is like, does your asshole, like, I know it gets stimulated with your prostate, right? Does it actually produce any type of like fluid? In terms, like what I mean by fluid,
you're not supposed to. So like,
what you're talking about, I feel like I feel like it's just shit. Like,
that sounds like STDs, bro.
Like I feel like, you know,
it sounds like it's chocolate.
I'm just saying, like he makes it seem like, you know, it's like he's compared to like a wet pussy or some shit. You know what I mean?
So like,
I feel like
if you use enough lube, like your asshole's gonna start to clean. Like that's just, it is what it is.
Right.
Friction plus whatever. Right. But. Yeah, no, that's not.
Because whenever I hear guys saying like, "Oh yeah, it's so fucking wet," I feel like they're talking about shit. I'm being honest though. I feel like it is like.
No, I mean like unless you're just out here straight fucking raw dogging, no fucking lube, hoping for the goddamn best. Then
I mean, you know,
I don't know, but
I mean, unless you guys, what is it called, a douche or like what do you call it? It's enemas.
Yeah.
Is it enemas or enema?
That fleet water.
Yeah. That,
So what's like the cleaning protocol for like gay dudes? Like, do you guys have like bidets at home, and then like you guys are using bidets and stuff?
I mean, they have like shower attachments.
Oh,
they have like bulb douches.
Wow.
Like, you know, there's just a multitude of things that you can use.
Yeah.
So you know, obviously you have a penis, right? And you're gay, so I would
Last
expect
time I checked.
I would expect you to like know your way around a penis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
So
do.
what kind of tips can you give to people who want to suck dick?
My number one tip is focus on the tip. Like, I mean, no, my number one tip is to like ask the person you're fucking sucking what they like. You know, like everybody's fucking different, but like especially with a dude, like, dude, you know what like feels good, or at least you know what feels good on you. You know what the general dick is going to fucking feel like, right? So like, you know where to hit with your tongue, like what, like how fast, or like,
All right, all right.
whatever.
Let me explain it this way. If you just want to surprise the person you're sucking off, what is your go-to trick?
Sticking my finger in their ass.
Ooh, really?
oh my god,
Bro, okay, like here's a fucking thing, like
Dude.
that you straights don't understand is that the prostate orgasm is one of the best orgasms you will ever have.
trust me, we know. Not because
Oh, dude. Oh, we know.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. But like, we've known about how like the prostate works. But
Yeah, it's fucked up.
yeah, it is fucked up.
It's fucked
Fuck up that God would put it right up your ass.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, honestly,
like-
if you put it there, like, why not use it? I mean, shit.
It's very weird that God would put a fucking the male G spot in the asshole. It doesn't make sense. Why? Can you explain this?
I thought it was just to make shitting pleasurable.
I mean, it's
maybe
I mean, otherwise it's a fucking thing coming out of my ass.
Yeah.
it's reverse. It's like reverse. Like
Yeah.
it's like what's all
So
reverse.
it hits the G spot first, and then comes out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a good fucking point.
Maybe is there a theory? Maybe like some.
So if you
shit, like if you shit so much, that's what makes you gay.
I don't know.
Maybe if you shit enough times,
No,
it'll
it's
make you
not-
gay.
like,
You
it's
know,
more
I have
like
not heard that, but
I'm just saying, what if there's a conspiracy theory out there, like a crazy, like if you shit so much,
So-
hopefully you got
do you feel like gay men are better at blowjobs than regular women?
10,000%.
Damn.
But then again, a woman is better at eating pussy. So
yeah.
Actually, I've heard that there's women like that. Women with the experiment with women, they actually say sometimes you'd be surprised women aren't actually as good.
Yeah,
at
they're
eating
not
pussy
that
as
great.
men. Yeah,
I've seen this
Well,
yeah.
multiple times.
well, that sucks for those
yeah.
women.
Like some of the guys
The
act like
lesbians I know can flip their shit.
Well, that's because they have experience eating pussy, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like again, that's not like, you know, you're not gonna go out on your first time and like just be a fucking pro,
Right.
But like, you know the mechanics of how it works.
Yeah.
Like,
Not only
a
that,
guy going out and eating pussy for a first time is gonna be like, oh, this is fun. What
That's
is this?
true.
Da-da-da. You know?
not only that, there's different factors to it. Guys also get lazy. There's some guy I know some motherfuckers that are like lazy as fuck eating pussy, and they don't want to put in the effort, you know. Whereas in a woman, they want to put effort towards like the clit and shit. You know what I mean? So
So there's a lot of shit that I've been seeing online, like even just like funny videos of like reels and stuff, but like there's just a lot of mentions of like pegging lately in straight relationships and how like females just want to dominate their men. You know what I mean? So is that, you know, I know you don't like to categorize everybody and like put a label on it, but
No, I don't think that's gay at all. Like, I think that, like I told you earlier,
yeah.
like our G spot is our prostate
Mhm.
or whatever. Men want to fit, like, I think they finally figured out what it fucking feels like, and they're like, yeah, I want that. And like, I mean, the girl dominating the man, I don't necessarily get that, but
Mhm.
like, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
More power to you.
I mean, how else would
how else would it be? If you don't think it's gay, what?
I don't
how-
think it's anything. I think that it's a man taking pleasure in like what his body does. Like,
That's-
see, and that's the thing.
discover-
Like,
Yeah, I get it because it's like it's fucked up. It's like it's your body, right? And then you have it there, but then you never ever want to pleasure it. It's kind of like, why are you forcing yourself not to do that? Because it's a stigma,
exactly.
right? So
Because society tells you, oh, that completely redefined your sexuality. It's like, no, I'm just trying to fucking feel good.
Right. Interesting.
And like, why life is too short. Why wouldn't you want to feel the best that you can, the most times that you can, all the time?
Yeah. No, it's very interesting. I agree.
I get your perspective.
Like, I'm not about policing people in their bodies. Whatever. Like, do whatever's gonna fucking work for you. But like, you know, you're supposed to come whatever amount of times, 28 or whatever amount of times per month, in order to, like, you know, have healthy body processes and to prevent prostate cancer and, you know, all this shit, right? So again, why would you deny yourself of something that is literally going to help your health, right? But again, in excess or what have you, if you're a fucking, you know, sex addict or a sex fiend or whatever, it starts affecting your day-to-day operations in life. Obviously, you're going to need help from that. Like, you can't just sit here, as much as it would be fucking great, you just can't sit here and fucking come all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a life.
If I could weigh in here. So I think now, like, this generation just has a very, well, this and the, you know, a lot of us right now, I guess, have a really unhealthy relationship with masturbation and porn. There's a lot of addiction going on. And I really don't think, like, if because I used to really study hardcore about the tantric, like the sexuality of tantric and really understanding yourself. Masturbation shouldn't have to involve porn because it desensitizes you extremely. And like it affects so much stuff. Like porn addiction will actually make you have ED because you can't get your dick up anymore because you don't have that same stimulation with a real woman or a man or whatever it is. Now you have to go and chase that fucking dragon, right? So I think it's really just unhealthy.
Yeah, but I mean,
realistically,
with tantra, for that whole spectrum and all that, it's kind of hard to introduce that to people because in tantra is more about energy work, right?
Not necessarily,
but for the most
I get
part,
you.
But for the most part, it's mostly energy work where you can even go next to like nature and you're supposed to be able to ejaculate or some shit like that. So like,
That's crazy.
And not many, but I'm saying like the whole premise of that ideology, it's hard to convince somebody like, hey, you know what, just go touch some plants and fucking just jerk off. You know what I mean? It's not.
I don't know.
It's not as easy for like.
I get what you're saying.
I feel like that's like
that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I know, but
it's a whole nother thing. But I feel like that's also having to do with a lot with like energies and like and the feelings of like, you know, the feeling of wind blowing on you while you're fucking drinking for like whatever, right? And being there, being in the moment, being present, you know, whatever. It's it's exactly what you said. It's completely different. It's sensitizing you to your surroundings versus, you know, sensitizing yourself to image on a screen of somebody else having, you know, things. I mean, you know, it's all about balance. It's always as with pretty much everything in life, it's all about balance. And when you go to one extreme or the other, like, you're going to get fucky.
That's always the best topics to talk about is, you know, this extreme or this extreme. Whenever you talk about a balance, it's kind of just like an average, you know, discussion. So people don't really care. But no, like I wanted to go back because you were saying, you know, why is it that, like, well, I don't know who said it. I think it was you. You said you shouldn't judge like what to do with your body, right? It's true because dude, it's fucking there. Whether you shove a dildo up your ass, a real cock, or a finger, whatever the fuck it is, it's still your body. If that's like an acceptable thing in the bedroom for you and your girl, you and your man, whoever the fuck your partner is, you should do it. Yeah,
it's between y'all. Y'all should fucking do it or whatever. And like, again, why deny yourself of life's pleasures? You could be gone tomorrow. Like, you could be gone tomorrow and not feel anything. So why would you deny yourself of something unless it's, again, going to harm you in a, you know, in a bad and permanent way?
I mean, it's all preference, you know. I mean, I get it.
So
don't deny yourself, but
what's your thoughts on getting pegged by a girl, though?
For me, I think it's gay.
As a straight man,
I think it's gay, but like, I'm not like gonna knock it down. It's their thing. I'll respect that's your thing, but it's not mine. You know what I mean? I don't wake up one day like, you know, fuck. Hey baby, peg me. You know what I mean? I just don't. It's just not my thing. I don't know.
So is it like the domination of like the woman like penetrating? Or?
I feel like that shit would fucking hurt. Like I mean, it
hurts until it doesn't.
Yeah.
I will tell you, like,
So
as
does
a gay man, it hurts until it doesn't. And
So
when
does
it
going to the
doesn't,
gym, you know, and it's gonna hurt at first, but then you get
Wait, so
but
does it hurt every time, or do you eventually just like it gets used to it?
I
and
mean,
then
if
just-
you're out here getting your hole used every fucking 5 minutes, yeah, it's not gonna, like, eventually it's not gonna hurt for you.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I
But
don't
there's like a loop process, I'm guessing, right? In the gay community.
It's,
Do you guys
no,
do
no,
that?
like it, like I mean, when you're fucking, you know, getting in there, or whatever, foreplay is a huge thing because like it's going to relax you and relax your body or whatever. But like if you just go in there and you're just trying to fucking stick it in there and just go to
course.
fucking
Do you
town,
use
like,
lube?
that shit's gonna fucking hurt.
do you at least use lube like silicone or water base or some shit like that? Or
As much as I can, or spit. Spit is the best lube.
is there an article
That's
or
some guy shit right there. Or spit,
I mean, damn, I feel like that shit would be drying.
with foreplay, does it like I don't know, like so the female vagina, right? When it's about to have sex and it's getting stimulated, it starts opening up a little bit more to allow more of a
Yeah.
penis. Does the asshole do the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because like you're relaxing your
Sphincter.
anus and
Uh-huh.
you know
It's the sphincter muscle, right? The sphincter.
well, the sphincter is just the anal, but there's glands.
No, there's two sphincter muscles though. From what there's two muscles that
Well, the whole entire sphincter is technically a whole muscle. It's kind of like similar to like what I have our lips. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, but then you have your throat. So there's two muscles that prevent it, right? I don't know. I'm
they
not a fucking.
they all work.
I'm not a doctor.
You're not an anus
I'm not an anal doctor, no.
Do you ever find yourself like getting to like extremes? Like for example, like extremes for like for example like BDSM for heterosexual couples, right?
Uh-huh.
They'll be like, you know, they spit on their partner or some shit. Do you ever get to the fucking point where like you're banging a dude and like you just spit on his face? You just spit on his fucking asshole and fucking get all aggressive and shit. Like
I mean, I personally I have not yet, but like I mean, I could see maybe, I don't know, right person.
You ever swear? So like because it's a male relationship, right? Do you guys ever like get fist fights when you guys actually fight?
I mean, is there ever domestic violence in your relationship?
What I'm just saying, like I'm just saying.
All right, that
The most domestic violence out of any relationship is a lesbian relationship.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah, for sure.
I know
And
that.
the least instances of domestic violence are
Yeah.
They also have the highest rate of.
but then I also feel like it's like a bro thing. Like if you get in a fight with your bro, fist fight, after your fight, you guys are homies even more. So
Yeah.
is it like similar? Like I don't know. Like that's where we're at.
I don't know because I've seen some pretty crazy gay guys that like will go off and fight and like that's it, like that is done. But like they need to be done. It's because it's again like I don't know.
Toxic, right?
Yeah, I'm all about nobody puts their hands on each other because I'll kill you.
Uh-huh.
Like-
Yeah. It does
Yeah.
get dangerous. I
But
feel
yeah,
like.
but no, apparently the lesbians are out here just duking it out.
That's hilarious.
I feel like gay dudes, they're just still dudes. Like they're more chill.
Yeah.
They just have their own preferences.
Don't
It's mainly lesbians.
yeah, don't lesbian relationships have higher chance of divorce than
They
like
do, yeah.
heterosexual? I mean, yeah,
They have
it's
the highest-
heterosexual.
Wait. They also statistically have the highest percentage of dead bedroom.
What's that bedroom?
So they actually stop having sex with each other.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. It becomes like a dead bedroom. So they just
Woman.
because I think it's because two women they don't like to initiate anyways, right? So like who's gonna initiate? No one? All right, fuck it. And then the libido just disappears. Like if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
I don't
But
doubt it.
statistically, it's proven that lesbians have the deadest of bedrooms.
I mean, I don't doubt it. Women can be, they hold grudges, you know what I mean? They can hold it for a long time.
Yeah.
Your brother's wife back in high school, held a grudge for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Against another girl.
So are we saying that straight males and gay males agree that women need men in their lives one way or form?
Well, I can't subscribe to
Yes.
that shit whatsoever.
Why?
But why? Because like people are individuals. Like
No, I get that, but men,
But I mean, it's
men are way more chill than.
But statistically, like
statistically they're higher, but like a statistic of 5% isn't like an
That's a
end
pretty
all
big-
be all.
I mean, 5% is big though. Like if you
especially especially when you look at like you're talking about like this much of the fucking population, right?
right.
That are in gay or lesbian relationships,
Right.
what have you, versus the huge subset of
I'll do the math.
straights, right?
Yeah.
So like when you really look at it or whatever, yeah, there might be higher, but like you're not talking about like a 20% difference or whatever. And then you're talking about a subset about this fucking small.
Yeah.
Like it's still happening out here. It's still happening. It's still happening a lot to the straights.
That's true.
Should I do in US or world?
US, mainly.
US.
Oh,
yeah, because we have problems here.
Yeah, we got some serious fucking problems here. The U.S. has the most fucking problems.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like European lesbians aren't out here like fighting over
No, they
who's
are.
going to bring in the money for the healthcare.
What?
They are.
Okay. I got a question though. So, you know how like they say lesbians move really quick? They're like it's like U-Haul or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
a U-Haul thing.
Yeah, like lesbians will like move in with each other and like
At a faster
like
rate.
super fucking fast. Like next
Wow.
week, living together, like doing all this shit. Why is
Interesting.
it like that with lesbians and then not gay men?
I think girls are just wired that way. Women in
know.
general, because girls
But
can
then,
be like,
you know what? No, because I do see like gay men that like fall in love really fucking quickly,
and they would move in.
together. Like it's the whole serial dating thing. I don't think that
The fuck is a serial dating?
a serial dater like people that can't
Dating-
be alone.
Yeah.
Like they cannot.
You mean they're independent or they're dependent on like.
Or they're hopeless romantics or something?
I would say
whatever.
hopeless romantic, but they're dependent on having somebody there versus they're not
They
independent.
can't ever be alone.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like I think that's kind of like where the stigma comes in. Maybe it's higher prevalence through, lesbianism or whatever. But like, no, I see it. I definitely see it with the fucking gay guys where it's like, weren't you just in a relationship like 2 weeks ago? And now with.
Let's go back to like, let's say Elvis Presley time, right? He was the first person looking back where he started introducing like makeup in traditional sense for a man. He didn't wear like makeup in like as a gay person, but he was still a heterosexual male, but he was wearing makeup. And then everybody started getting on that trend. And the same thing with like motorcycles, right? Same thing. I think just our era, this is the era for like the LGBTQ community. And then now people are just kind of like exploring that avenue. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I think it's fucking great because, like, whatever. I think that everybody should explore their sexuality and know who the fuck they are, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, whatever. If that is what it takes for people to drop the fucking stigma and, like, figure out who they are, absolutely. Because you have so many people our age and definitely older, they're still running out here, like, in the fucking closet and in their feelings and what have you. And it's like, dude, it's 2024. It doesn't matter. And if somebody thinks it matters, there's going to be at least 10 times more people over them that are going to be like, absolutely not, and protect you. Right. So
that's their generation. That's what
but like it's generation, it's traumas, it's a whole slew of things or whatever that prevent people from actually coming out. So again, if these kids are out here saying it's okay if I try it out, and if I'm not, I'm not. If I am, like, more power to you. Shit.
That's cool. Yeah, it is what it is. Like you said, don't deny anything, right? So
yeah, don't deny anything. Don't deny anything. Be yourself. Be who the fuck you are. Whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to live your life.
Yeah.
And you only have a certain amount of time on this earth. Don't spend your life, and that's with anything in life, right? Don't spend your life conforming to other people's vision of who you are. Be yourself. Be yourself and be unapologetically yourself.
Hell yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
I think my coworker needs to hear this.
I think we'll finish it off like there, dude.
Yeah, that shit was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Sebastian, you close out.
Thank you for watching WAKU Radio. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. If you liked what we talked about today, put it in the comments because we love you. If you don't agree, you disagree, you agree, I don't give a fuck. Put it in the comments.
Let us know.
Just live your life. Live WAKU.
Hell yeah. Evan, you want to plug yourself, dude?
Yes.
Wait, which way do you
Plug yourself like your IG.
This way? Oh, okay. My IG is at ETR Vegas _Vegas. Fuck. Okay. One more time. My IG is at ECR _Vegas. I'm a real estate agent out here in Vegas. I tend to think of myself as pretty cool. and pretty good at what I do. And I don't know. Other than that, I travel a lot, and I'm pretty dope a person.
Are
I
you
made
single?
friends? I'm single as fuck,
Are you ready to mingle?
and I'm working out. So
There you
know,
guys
it'll
go.
be
He's ready
about
for the
9 weeks.
streets,
I'm gonna
ready
be
for the
even
streets.
sexier.
Hey,
know?
do you want to tell them your penis size? They can maybe find you. I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. Wait, does size matter as gay people?
Yeah, I'm not. It depends on who.
Are you a size queen?
I'm not a size queen. No,
Really?
Although I'm not like. I'm sorry if you got a pinky, like we can kiss or something. But that's about it. But,
Oh, that's
You're not even gonna
yeah,
try.
I'm
You're not
not
gonna try it with
looking
a
for like
person?
a 12-inch dick. Fucking
But you're not gonna even
as thick
try.
as my arm, huh?
But you're not even gonna try with the person. Like if you're already there.
Oh hell no.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you know what?
I just want to know, what's the biggest and the smallest you've seen? Like, are there realistically like 10-inch dicks?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
They're out there.
Really?
Yes.
Like legit 10-inch? Like you measure
There's
10-inch?
legit 10, 12, 13-inch monster fucking cocks out there. Absolutely. And then there's also button penises, and I've seen both.
Wow.
Yes.
Which one do you like better?
I like what do they call it? Like husband dick or boyfriend dick or something?
Like average
that?
penises, yeah.
Yeah, like I mean not like completely average, like, but like if you're getting past like
You like fat coats?
Just show us.
You like
You don't
fat
even have to
coats?
say it.
if you're getting past like here-ish, around here or whatever, then I think you're doing a little bit much.
How many inches do you think that is?
Probably like around 8.5.
Jesus.
But do you like
That's a
toads
lot.
or like what do you like cucumbers? Or
That's
what do you like?
6.
Solid cucumber.
You like fucking eggplants?
No, too big, too thick.
Too thick.
Like, what about
Bro,
that
like,
microphone? What about that microphone?
I'm like fucking like I'm tight, sir. I'm not out here fucking gaping.
He's like, I'm a classy person, all right. I have
Put that-
standards.
Put that in
No,
your mouth right now.
I just.
Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind.
Tell him again.
I'm classy with just
Oh yeah.
slightest bit of trash.
Well, put that in your mouth right
I
now.
like it. Wait, what?
Put
What?
that in your mouth.
Oh, him. Okay. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Like this episode got real sus real quick. Man.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
dude. All means
We're
Sebastian.
all saying sus as shit. I mean, it's just normal for you.
I still won't forget. I was Sebastian like, yeah, when we were fucking.
Well, we were fucking, yeah,
man.
Hey, I didn't say anything sus this whole time. You got-
not at all. He's watching it. He's saving it for later.
Yeah, he's like, after
camera,
hours.
off cameras, dude.
Check me out. You see me on the road, I'm in hustle mode, real estate mogul, commercial real estate.